Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Talk Williams, host of Creative Hip Hop 50th. And yes, it is Wednesday, November, take a guess, 12th, whatever it is. But just another thought on AI, the economy, knowledge workers, jobs, education. In other words, there's a new paradigm shift taking place right in front of our very eyes. And that paradigm shift is brought on by AI, artificial intelligence, robots, however you want to explain it, however you see it. The idea being, what is it that you can do? What is it that we as people can do as knowledge workers? Now, typically, when I talk about knowledge workers, good morning, or the knowledge economy, I'm just talking about people whose primary task or job is to perform things where it involves computer systems, some automation, streamlining processes. And their responsibility also requires that they, I guess, perform some type of analysis, reporting, gathering of data, or pushing it one way or another. Other knowledge workers might be in the health field, in the legal, different domains, different professions. But as knowledge workers, all of us are part of the knowledge economy. So the question becomes, how is AI, how is artificial intelligence going to affect you, your career, your career choices, your upward mobility, your opportunities? How will AI, maybe your kids, your grandkids, who have taken on trades or career paths in college, and they have one expectation and the money's been invested, but the outcome is not going to meet the expectation. In fact, when it comes to new college graduates versus college graduates, has succeeded, has passed the national unemployment rate. National unemployment rate hovers at about 4 point something, the low fours above it. But the unemployment rate for new graduates out of college is over or close to 6%. So those challenges in the economy, what are they facing? What's really going on there? That's what we have to contend with. What I'm seeing, and it's just not visual, it's not anecdotal, but I'm just saying when you look at the markets, when you look at jobs, when you look at layoffs, what's happening is there's this bifurcation when it comes to earnings, when it comes to money. If you look at your 401k, your 403b, or some other investment asset that you have, either working in corporate America or whatever it is that you do, you're doing great. It looks wonderful. You're probably up anywhere from 15 to 20% just this year alone. So that means if you had $100,000 invested in something, you're easily looking at 120,000 before the year's out without you actively investing, just passive investments. If you've been doing hand-to-hand combat where you day trade or you swing trade, you probably benefit even. But here's the mistake a lot of us make. The market is not. So when you hear people touting that the stock market is as great as it's ever been, it's approaching a trajectory to hit 7,000 in terms of the S&P 500, the NASDAQ is wonderful and all of that stuff, that's the market. That's not the economy. You could have an expanding and a growing 401k or 403b or investment assets, and yet that you're being laid off, or you know people that's being laid off. So you don't want to confuse the two. In terms of the economy, that's where we are. Whether you have your own business, whether you work for corporate America, it doesn't matter. What I say to young people is this, young adults, is this: improve your skill set. Learn some of the AI tools that are relative to maybe that work you're seeking or doing. Don't sit back. You have to be proactive. You have to take a position where, don't take the attitude that typically older people like myself will take. All that AI stuff, I don't pay it no mind. All that automation, it doesn't make any sense. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's fine for older people who are in the golden years of their career, or they've solidified some position where When AI comes, they just get moved around or bounced around within their company or their structure. Or even if they're let go, they have savings, they have other things, they may be married, they're settled in, so they're not going to be out there. But for young adults, if you're, under 25 or older and you're already actively working, you want to empower yourself. You want to approach it from a vantage point of augmenting, improving, making better your situation. So what I say to young people is, if you know Excel, I'm gonna use something as common as Excel, something as simple as Word, something as simple as, I don't know, creating content, presentations, PowerPoint slides, something that everybody's familiar with. If you think you're good at Excel, that's fine. You have to learn Copilot, because Copilot is the AI behind that works with Excel. That's what the employer wants to hear. He doesn't want to hear how good you are making pivot charts and spreadsheets. That's yesterday's thinking. That's over with. They would rather keep somebody or hire somebody who has 2 or 3 years experience in Excel, that realizes the value of Copilot and knows how to use it, than to actually keep somebody with 10 years of experience with Excel who has no abilities, no awareness about AI tools. Why? Because here's the thing. This is what the AI, the automation, is targeting. It's targeting menial tasks, MENIAL. These are tasks that don't require degrees, certifications, special skill sets. These are these little nuancy things that, you hire somebody and you pay them a nominal rate to do at the company. They're going to replace them. They're also going to target the mundane. Typically, when you hear the word mundane, you hear it bounce between mundane and esoteric. Esoteric being something more attentive, more maybe interested, more refined and tuned in. Mundane being ordinary. Mundane. MUNDANE. Just mundane. Sure, you have a certificate. Sure, you've been trained. But there's nothing special about what you do. So you can be replaced. That's AI. And then there's the repetitive. If you have a job and you have a task where what you do is just repetitive, you really don't provide any analysis, you really don't look at it from a strategic point of view, your decisions really don't change anything for the company, but it's repetitive. And you're not face to face with customers or clients, then that's a vulnerability. So if you think about the menial, the mundane, and the repetitive, those are the areas of vulnerability that AI is going to step in and basically replace. If you look at some of the Amazon, or if you heard about some of the Amazon fulfillment centers, where that was basically where young adults, people in between semesters, could get a job, could do some work a few years if they wanted to. Amazon has more robots at these fulfillment centers than human beings now. So during the years of COVID, between 2019 or 2020, maybe about 2022, you was seeing across the country where Amazon workers wanted unions, they wanted their rights, they felt like their ergonomics, their working conditions weren't good at the Amazon fulfillment centers. You don't hear anything from employees from Amazon now. You know why? It's more robots at the Amazon fulfillment center than human beings. They got robots coming in daily. They do the heavy lifting. The robots are learning how to grab their placing items. So sure, are they creating new positions for people? Sure, they're creating new positions. Some type of maintenance robot or some fancy name, some type of robot supervisor or lead or some fancy name. But the reduction in the human workforce is prevalent. So now it's like a quiet storm. You go to an Amazon fulfillment center, Amazon is increasing, their business is booming, but they're bringing in more robots than people. So these are the things, these are some of the challenges that people have to be faced with. Don't become a cynic and a critic of AI if you're a young adult. You need to find some adoption. You need to find some way of learning it. You need to become more aware. You need to become proactive. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. It's your boy, Talk Williams. Thanks for stopping in. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.